We welcome you back to the show, and we welcome in Mets manager Jerry Manuel. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's good to be here. Always good. I heard a lot about this show.
Well, we have some fun on this show.
A lot of it good, Jerry, we know.
Well, we're comfortable with that. Okay. The question off the bat, how's the offseason gone, and are you comfortable with this team as it is presently constituted going into spring training?
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with the team. I mean, you always like to add different pieces here and there. You can never get enough pitching. Would love to have another right-handed batter, just to have another right-handed batter to balance out the lineup.
Can't think of anyone out there. We'll get to that momentarily.
I know you will. But yeah, it's been a good winter. It's been a good winter. We acquired two tremendous guys for the back end of the bullpen, and that's always a good thing.
Feel a little bit better going out to the mound now, don't you?
No question.
Not as many times either.
Let me ask you about that right-handed hitter, okay? How would you have any trouble? Do you think Manny Ramirez would be a problem at all in the locker room? Do you think you'd have any trouble handling a guy like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't have a problem with people that produce in the form and fashion that Manny Ramirez produces. I mean, we shouldn't spend that much time in the locker room anyway. Our deal is to be on the field, and Manny Ramirez has proven that he is probably one of the best right-handed hitters in our generation, and to have a shot at managing would be exciting for me. I mean, I've had Albert Bell, Frank Thomas, tremendous right-handed hitters. I'd love to have the opportunity to watch Manny hit every day.
John, before you jump in, let me just ask you this then. Have you heard any talk about Manny? Has there been any explanation of why the team does not seem to be interested in him?
Well, no. From my point of view as a manager, I don't get involved with the salaries or what a guy makes, what he's going to make, how many years he's going to make. All I get involved with is once that player becomes a Met, then I deal with it from there.
All right, now let's talk about people who are going to be on the team next year, because we know it's not going to happen. But we talked about this a little bit at the winter meetings. Luis Castillo, I think, fans worried about it, the media's worried about that guy coming back, not only just because of the year he had, but, fans treated him pretty harshly. And at the end of the year, I think you were concerned that it was affecting his play. Is he going to be able to overcome that? And is he ever going to be the player that we saw before all the knee injuries and everything else?
I mean, that's an extremely good question, and I really couldn't say one way or the other what he's going to be, but I do know that our job as a staff is to get him back to being the player that he was, and to get him back to being embraced by the team that he's playing for. I mean, he has the skills. It's just a matter of us as a staff getting him to play at the level that he can play at. And if he can't, then we have to do some things to put out there what's the best team.
Jerry, the manager that preceded you after the collapse, when he was the manager for the full year, okay, he really didn't want to talk about it coming into next season. He wanted to kind of, kind of forget about it, move on, whatever. Will you approach it the same way after it happened to you this year, or is this going to be out in the open for everybody to know about?
It's always out in the open. It's always out in the open. I think any time that, at least at this point in Mets history, anytime that you join this franchise, regardless of who you are, JJ, Putz, anybody, you have to make sure that they identify with what has gone on here in the past. You just can't, that's just the way I see it. You just can't, watch. We will never get rid of that until we finish and get into the playoffs. That's just the way I feel about it, because it's going to be a topic, continuous topic, but so if it's a topic, then you must deal with it and move on.
For you, how is it different? I mean, you were thrown into a very difficult situation last year. How's it different now? You have whole offseason, all spring training to sort of set things exactly the way you want them. I have to imagine this is much better.
Yeah, this is much better for me. I wish it wouldn't have been the baseball classic at this time, because that would have given me an opportunity to, my job.
You wish you guys wouldn't play?
Yeah, I wish we wouldn't have the classic at my first year as a manager, because I just feel that the core players are the players that I need to manage at that time in spring training more than anybody else. People say, oh, no, but those are the guys that you want to make sure understand what you're looking for, what you want, and then they can kind of manage the rest of the guys a little bit. But with this classic going on, I probably won't get them back until, well, I'll get them back here sparingly throughout spring training, but the 23rd of March from then on, and we got to really do some things to get everybody in line.
With Johan coming off an injury, you prefer he sit this out?
Injuries, you have to be careful. It's a real sensitive thing. I mean, you when you have played in those countries and see how passionate their fans are, and you have a situation like New York, how passionate your people are. That's a tough call for him and the organization. Very, very tough, difficult call. When you grow up in a place and you get a chance to represent that, yeah, that's a tough call. I'm glad I don't have to make that one.